Okay, Unit 10 is motivation, so let's jump right into it. Motivation is simply a need or desire that energizes behavior and directs it toward its goal. And there's 4 different perspectives that we can use for studying motivated behavior. And that is the instinct or the evolutionary perspective, which we're going to talk about first, the drive reduction theory, the arousal theory, and then Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And we're going to talk about all of these today. Under Darwin's influence, early theorists viewed behavior as being controlled by instincts. And instincts are complex behaviors that are rigidly patterned through a species and are unlearned, meaning they are biological, they're innate, we're born with them. When it became clear that people were simply naming and not explaining various behaviors by calling them instincts, this approach kind of fell out of favor. And what it means right there by the fact that instincts in animals and instincts in humans, obviously we both have instincts, but what's happening is that the more complex the nervous system, the more adaptable the organism is. So both the people and the weaver bird, for example, you see him right here, satisfied their need for shelter in ways that reflect our inherited capacity. So humans are going to build complex houses. The people's behavior is flexible. They can learn whatever skills they need to build a house, but the bird's behavior pattern is fixed. It can only build this kind of nest. So what's important about instincts in animals is that they can't deviate from it, whereas humans can deviate from an instinct and change it. It's adaptable. The drive reduction theory proposes that most physiological needs create aroused psychological states that drive us to reduce or satisfy those needs. The aim of the drive reduction theory is internal stability, or what we would call homeostasis, which is a tendency to maintain a balanced or constant internal state. Furthermore, we are not only pushed by internal drives, but we're also pulled by external incentives. So, and we'll talk about incentives in just a second. So take a look at your screen. You have need, drive, and drive reduction. So you have a need. Your drive is hunger or thirst, and then you have a drive-reducing behavior. An incentive is a positive or negative environment stimulus that's going to motivate your behavior. And again, we're pushed by internal drives, but we're pulled by external incentives. And when there's both a need, like hunger, and an incentive, like a smell of fresh baked bread, we're going to feel very strongly driven. And incentives can be positive or negative. They're either going to lure or repel us. And this is one way our individual learning histories influence our motives. So depending on our learning, the aroma of good food, whether it's freshly baked pizza or fresh roasted ants, can motivate our behavior. The arousal theory states that rather than reducing a physiological need or minimizing tension, some motivated behaviors increase arousal. Curiosity-driven behaviors, for example, suggest that too little or too much stimulation can motivate people to seek an optimal level of arousal. So human motivation aims not to eliminate arousal, but to seek optimum levels of arousal. Having all our biological needs satisfied, we feel driven to experience stimulation, and we hunger for information. We are what some neuroscientists would call an infovore. So after identifying brain mechanisms that reward us for acquiring information, that's what this guy, Biederman and Vessel, labeled us as. When we lack stimulation, we feel bored and we look for a way to increase arousal to some optimum level. However, with too much stimulation comes stress, and then we're going to look for a way to decrease arousal. And Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the 4th perspective of motivation. And his hierarchy of needs expresses the idea that until satisfied, some motives are more compelling than others. At the base of the hierarchy are our physiological needs, such as food and water. Only if these are met are we prompted to meet our need for safety, and then meet the uniquely human needs to give and receive love, to belong and to be accepted, and to enjoy self-esteem. Beyond this lies the need to actualize one's full potential. And near the end of his life, Maslow suggested that some people can reach a level of self-transcendence in which they strive for meaning and purpose that is beyond the self. And he called that transpersonal. So that's it. Thanks, guys.